Hi, Nine and Cade, Conrad. These are particularly for you, and Cash Peters also. I follow a lot. Marie, Sheila did when my parents passed. She did a reading um for them, which was really helpful. Of course, it was, the most wonderful experience. They passed from COVID, but helped me a lot. Anyway, Cade, I came across you just very, very recently. It's YouTube stuff that pops up, and it keeps on popping up and popping up, and it's crazy because I mean, your pick a card stuff. I love that, and I'm having fun because I am so tired of Washington, the group house that I live in. This is the ninth place that I've had to live in DC since coming back. This town is crazy. Anyway, I always say, you remember One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? I'm Jack Nicholson trying to break out. This guy's gonna end up in a lawsuit just like everybody else. I got a whole slew of videos that I'm taking, like, when the police kill them. And you got it on video. I'm like, you guys, I'm documenting everything like this, and I'll see you in court when this whole thing is finished. Anyway, Cade, you did this one. It was a meditation something. You were supposed to close your eyes and you imagine this forest and everything like that. So this is the I saw this. My animals still need some work in my designs. But, so here is what, oops, it's still not finished. When it's finished, I'll get it scanned and, sorry. I gotta work on my panther, and I want to get a panther, like, jumping in there. Although, I mean, my artwork, is either very naive. I also do, or like abstract. This is a style that I do a lot. This was when Michael Lewis, author of The Big Short, and his daughter was killed in an accident. I have it posted up there, the cards that I did for him. Anyway, these are the angels that I'm working on, because I do a lot of this stylized, believe me. Particularly my hostess job of feet warming, where I'm supposed to stand there like a bimbo and not do anything because they don't want me cleaning up the kitchen and the floor and oh my god, the managers in Washington in restaurant businesses are just as crazy as everybody else. I mean, and believe me, there's some of these hostesses that I've worked with who, were managers, and they're like, I can't do this. I can't work with these people. I need a break. One of my favorite was at Succotash. She would just say to the people, the irate clients with all the crap that was going on, this is above my pay grade. Let me go and get you a manager. Oh my god, that place was managerialism, like to the Luna. Oh. In retrospect, it's amusing. When you're in the shit show, it's not so amusing. Anyway, I know I got a lot of waiters in this town who are gonna be like, oh yeah, lady, they're all crazy. Anyway, and then 9, this one that I've done, I've used, your Unity candle that you always do. So, can you see the Unity candle that I did there? Now, this gets into the Wonderland of Alice, and It's the Wonderland of Alice, and then the Looking Glass one. And I still, this is just part of it, because I'd like to do a whole, I have that, whole chessboard of it, but, I gotta do piece by piece on these things. So anyway, that's the first one. This, of course, the red queen against the white queen with her unity candle, and you got some of them in there. The stupid king. Who do you think this represents in Washington? The castrated lion. Who do you think that represents in Washington? The Cheshire cat. The white king. Believe me, these are very politically oriented. I'm gonna do, oh God, with the whole Governor Cuomo thing. Believe me, that man, he did a good job with the COVID. Yeah, I heard about the accusations against him and everything. Believe me, this is what I'm trying to clean up, is this bureaucratic BS. In all of my activism work and building cases against everybody in Washington, until the higher up actually gets a letter from me, and if his stupid secretaries don't process it and throw it in the trash, that's on him. I've been doing this for 15 years, so that's on you. If you can't hire a secretary who knows what the hell she's doing, like the executive secretary of Como, I want to see that little girl, because I am tired of these game-playing secretaries in this town, and it's in government agencies, and it's this secretary, everybody's out to lunch. So anyway, this is all very political. So I'm going to be doing, here's the other one that I've done, and then I'll tell you about the parody that I'm going to be doing. So this is the Three Little Pigs, because as I keep on saying, Washington is filled with PhDs and MBAs who never graduated from kindergarten, and they need some lessons in the basics that their mothers should have taught them when they were little, instead of teaching them how to brown nose and kiss ass. And for little girls, well, they're kissing something else. So, this gets into my former classmates, Foxcroft and everything like that. My God, your mothers were crazy, and you're pulling the same crap. You're just perpetuating the same bullshit that all your mothers did. My sisters included. So, now this is the last one that I'm working on right now. This is the Catalina Foothills. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona, and this is the mountain range that I would see from my bedroom window, and then I'm putting all of this other stuff on there. Okay, you keep on telling, all my spirit guides keep on telling me you need a break, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I need a break. I need to switch gears. I produce all of the evidence, all of the, I've spent 24/7 the past 15 years studying everything and setting everybody up for a fall who doesn't want to do their job. And yeah, I need to switch gears. So, what I wanted to tell you all about also, I just dropped some of my cards, is I want to do a parody. I'm never going to be a tarot reader. It's just not going to happen. So this is actually some cards that I had from back in, I guess, I forget when I was, I don't think this was 2016. This was the 2020 elections. And these I've got to clean up because I had actually bought them to build a house of cards, and so it's got sticky putty all over the place. Got to get my sticky putty off of these ones. but those cards know your deplorables. And let me drop. Hold on. Drop something. Oh, that was the one, the vote Trump one. So the other ones that sorry, I don't have a lot of space. I'm in a tiny room that I rent in DC. And this isn't the worst place I've been, but my lord. So this one, actually this one doesn't, I'm going to be using these because it's just regular cards on that side, and I'll be adding names of all of the little different game players in Washington. And I'll do your pick a card. You want to hear about this one? You want to hear about that one? You want to hear about this one? You want to hear about that one? Because I'm all over the map. I have played nice. I came here in good faith in 2009 to fight the court corruption and, you know, the everything that's going on in family courts and re-victimization of victims. I never thought that this town was going to be. I mean, I left in the 80s just absolutely disgusted. I had come here in 81, you know, wanted to get into politics. I was like, oh, Lord. I mean, I worked up on Capitol Hill as an intern for a senator during my college years. So I saw it all. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. I mean, the partying was bad in the 80s, but that's all they do. That's all they do. So this is another, I got one for Joe Biden, but again, it's just regular cards, so I'm going to have to add names on there, and then we can go one by one. Let's shuffle the cards and see. Let me tell you the behind the scenes bullshit of this person or that person. Now this one is the presidents of the United States, which when I put all the cards together and do the shuffling and everything, of course I'm not going to cover every single president. But of course, for example, Lincoln will be in there, and, you know, everyone that we've had since Nixon. I mean, the first elections I remember was Nixon and McGovern. It was 72, and third grade, I guess, and the teacher, she said, oh, let's do like your parents. We're going to just examine the issues, and this is not going to be a popularity contest. I was like, ever since then, I'm like, well, that's one of the first teachers that I've met. Doesn't know what she's talking about, because that's all they do. Believe me, teachers are not always God. I mean, I have had some excellent teachers, but also, you know, children are not stupid. They are ignorant. It is totally logical that a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 15, whatever, does not have the information that an adult does. That's what schooling is about. And all children should be treated with respect. Now, that doesn't mean that you let them get away with anything that they want to do. And I mean, I work with some problem children, and I've never, ever met a problem child. I've met many children with problem mothers or fathers or families, but never a problem child. So anyway, this one is Declaration of Independence, which I'm going to have to add in somebody in there. Because he's the only founding father who didn't sign the Declaration of Independence, but was one of the ones who was instrumental in developing all of the rhetoric and the argumentation for the War of Independence. And he didn't want us to go to war. He said it's not in the interest of the colonies. We have to argue this. He was called, it's John Dickinson. He was the penman of the Revolution. Now, he and John Paul Jones are both in my family tree, and I do a lot of parallels. In fact, John Paul Jones and I, our geopolitical trajectories and our life story are extremely similar. Whereas I am John Dickinson all the way. And in fact, I vindicate John Dickinson in everything that I write, showing Jefferson was off the mark, Madison was off the mark, Hamilton was off the mark, Paine was off the mark, everybody was off the mark. And if everybody had listened to Dickinson and avoided war, history would be different. But, that's water under the bridge. Of course, what's past is past. There's a lot of stuff, even this Civil War. I wish everybody would get off on this bandwagon of that it was to stop slavery in the United States and to free the slaves. Never about that. Never. Look, they're coming out with some documentaries about that now, and some movies as well, which is, my mom was working on this stuff for years and years from the perspective of women at the time, which was an interesting project. She had hundreds and hundreds of books with all of her notes and everything. I would have been, I tried to help her with it, but no, she wants to destroy me. I wanted to destroy me anyway. Sean Penn, I still think, is the best person for that project, but she had worked on a project for Frida Kahlo back in the 70s, and then I guess it was in the 90s, and people had said, no, it's a really good screenplay. It's a good idea. You need to develop it. You need to finish it. It was like, so many people, ideas. Well, if you don't implement, and you look at Afghanistan. Yeah, they needed to pull out. Okay, I'm not going to get into all my politics. But anyway, you get my point. But she had been doing this, this was all before Frida Kahlo came out, the movie with, Salma Hayek, I believe it, who played Frida Kahlo. But I told her, I think this was back in the 90s or something, I had heard Madonna was interested in Frida Kahlo. And I said, Mom, you should contact Madonna and see, if she'd take an interest in the project. And because this was her life's work that her children had destroyed, her possibilities of ever being a great writer. I would never work with Madonna. That woman should be censored. I was like, Mom, you might have heard about freedom of speech. Anyway, of course that never happened. But I still, we still have a lot of the books that where she, did her notes, and it's still a wonderful project. It's a lot of it is based on family stories of the Wilcox family in the South, and they were there was one, plantation owners that were in Alabama, and there's one story about the plant, they burned $1 million worth of cotton, $1 million back in those days worth of cotton, because the Yankees were coming and they didn't want the Yankees to get a hold of the raw material and make some more money to buy some more guns. So it was burned. So, the Civil War was industrial dominance versus agrarian dominance. The industrials won, and, here we are today. Anyway, again, I won't get into my political stuff. I'll try not to. I just wanted to show you guys um, those those drawings and stuff. I'm taking a break from my writing. Oh, I'll be going when I finish the card stuff. I'll be doing something about Governor Cuomo, and quite frankly, he is being unfairly targeted, just like Prince Andrew. I've been working behind the scenes with all of these little feminists for 15 years, and there's an agenda there. And if you guys will, I'm trying to. You guys, come on. You're covering up for all sorts of pedophilia, human trafficking, child trafficking. We have problems in foster care. I mean, all over the frickin' place. And I went after, like, colonoscopy type stuff of you guys for the past 15 years, and you're gonna pull this out? No, you should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to my when I finish this up and get my cards up, you'll see me with. I hope you guys will enjoy this, because I need a laugh or so, and I'm gonna do a parody with you. Oh my lord. But I hope you'll take it in the spirit it's intended, because I really do thank you. You've been a great help this past year. So have a nice day, keep safe, and hope all your family as well. Bye bye.